This is an idea of a neighborhood that looks very depreciated. But look here, they're building all over. This is the method, new construction. The neighborhood becomes so depreciated and investors come in, buy low, sell high. That's simple economics right there. So I drive through these neighborhoods looking for distressed properties, and you can see there's distressed properties all around, but there's new construction going up right in these depreciating areas. Right now, in this area, you can get a vacant lot for $30,000 to $50,000. In about a year, these lots will go up to $70,000 and $80,000 as the new construction starts going up even more. You see the area, how depreciated it looks? This is an area in Philly. Look at this new construction right here, and look around it. See new construction over there in the distance? New construction. There's value in these lands, in these little lots here. So I drive around and I look for these lots, find out who the owner is, go to the county website, look up who the owner is once I get the address, skip trace the owner through True People Search, Been Verified, or truthfinder.com. Or you can use Skip Vault to skip trace for you. I think it's like 15 cents for every skip trace that you do. And skip tracing is just finding the owner's information, their number, email, mailing address. Or you can get the mailing address from your county website or certain real estate software. Now in this area, this is a highly saturated area with drugs, fentanyl, dope, that diesel, and you see drug addicts all around, all over the place. Depreciating area. And this is money here. This is how you find money. You start looking in these depreciating areas for old busted houses. See, like this one right here, prime example. I'll take that address down, the lot next to it, all these buildings here, because in this area is coming up. You see the new construction taking place. So I'm looking for these old busted houses, and I'm gonna find out who owns them, contact the owner, and see if we can make a deal. This is called driving for dollars. Now, if I was to drive through this area, you see people hanging out. That doesn't stop investors from buying for pennies on the dollar, because this area is going to appreciate. In fact, Lord Amsher Rothschild said, "Buy where the blood drops." When the blood drops, that's when you buy. So all these areas that are ridden and riddled with crime and drugs, eventually these areas will become gentrified. People will start buying these properties for pennies on the dollar, driving the people who live in those areas out. And raising up the property values and the taxes where people can no longer afford to live there because the taxes are too high. This is what happens. And people who are smart, they begin buying these properties for pennies on the dollar and watching their money appreciate. This is the area, this is the drug area over here. But eventually, this area right here which is depreciating. See, they're developing slowly but surely. This area is going to appreciate, or the real estate value in this area is going to appreciate. Believe it or not. This is Kensington Avenue in Somerset, East Somerset and Kensington. This is like a hub for heroin and drugs. Look at this. Now over here, it may take years in this area, once you cross over Kensington Avenue, for the real estate to appreciate. It's just not here yet. But when you start going east of Kensington Avenue, even though it's a highly saturated drug area, it's coming up. In the past 5 or 6 years, I've watched depreciated areas rise from 40, it's lower than that, 20,000, 13,000, 40,000 for houses, to now where you're paying over $100,000 for a shell of a house. You got to watch these areas. You got to pay attention to these areas.